In today's video, I'm going to add up 2 completed pages of my debit account expense trackers for January using my running total worksheet. This is my running total worksheet printable download. Make sure to stick to the end where I'll share with you how you can download it for free. Each of these rows on the worksheet corresponds with my expense tracker pages. For example, row 3 corresponds with page 3 of my expense tracker, where I add up and note down all my budget numbers from that page. Today I'm going to note, add and write down all my numbers for page 4 from my expense tracker. I will add up all the inflow of money which I get from the plus column of my expense tracker. I'm going to be using my Pilot Friction Clicker erasable pens. They're great for all those times I write my numbers incorrectly. They are refillable and the rubber tip makes the ink disappear with friction. Now it's time to add all the inflows. I'll be using my green pen just so it corresponds with the green pen that I used on my expense tracker. Next, I'll go down the line of my expense tracker and add up all the numbers for my budget categories. First, I'll start off with my groceries. Then rent. We didn't have any utility bills on this page. And my other budget categories include Edward, my husband, my expenses for my boys, expenses for the whole family, homeschool, money that I take out for our cash envelopes, my older son's school, transport, medical, special occasions, my side hustle expenses, our sinking funds, general savings, savings from the Budget Mums savings challenges, my side hustle savings, home deposit savings, and miscellaneous. It's now time to add up these subtotals. Start with the starting balance plus the inflow. And then you minus or subtract all the subtotal numbers for each budget categories. You will know that you have added and written all your numbers correctly when the total you come up with is the same as the last figure on your running balance column. Ta-da! Now let's do exactly the same for page 5. The starting balance for the next page of your expense tracker is the same figure as the closing balance of the previous page. Next, we go through exactly the same steps as before. Add all your inflow from the plus column. Then, go down the page of your expense tracker and go through each color-coded budget categories and add up your figures. If you use cash envelopes method and take money out of your bank account to stuff your cash envelopes with, you need to note the money getting taken out of the expense tracker, but you will need to put a strike through it as you don't technically count this as an expense or a savings. It's just a movement of money. Here on the expense tracker for my cash, I will note down money coming in, and I will also put a strike through that as technically it's not income. You don't want to count it twice. Continue adding up the rest of your budget categories. Here I realized I missed writing down a medical expense. That's when your erasable pen comes in handy. It's now time to see if I added up all my numbers correctly. This cash envelope figure right here, I will still need to subtract it for the running balance equation to add up properly. So add up your starting balance plus your inflow, and then subtract all the subtotals for each budget categories. Remember, if all my addition and numbers are correct, I should get exactly the same figure that's at the end of my running balance column. Let's have a look. No, they're not. This means somewhere along the line I either missed a number or entered my numbers incorrectly on the calculator. The first thing I do to try and find out where the error might be is to see the difference from my added total versus the closing running balance, in case I can easily spot the difference. In this case, nothing matches $10.94, which means I might have to add up all my numbers again one more time. Here I spot a questionable figure. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be $33.57 or $33.51. I double check against my running balance figures. So it seems like it's supposed to be $33.51, and I'm sure I entered $33.57 on the calculator. This is when it's important your handwriting is legible. Back to double checking my subtotals. Here I spotted another line item I forgot to add to the homeschool category. So let's try that again. Starting balance plus your inflow minus all the budget categories. Now it's time to see if it all adds up this time round. Hooray! We did it! Now imagine if you're like me and have multiple pages of expense trackers and need to add up all your numbers in one go, then you either write things incorrectly, add your numbers incorrectly, or enter the wrong numbers on the calculator. Closing out your budget at the end of your month will drive you insane. And that is why I created this running total worksheet. Here I'm just writing down what my closing balance will be for my cash, side hustle, and debit accounts. So I know my closing balance for my debit accounts is $1,019.62. I will do exactly the same steps for my side hustle expense trackers, which I'll do off camera. But let me add up my cash expenses now. Here's that $60 I took out of the bank to stuff my cash envelopes with. I'll put a strike through it so that way it doesn't get counted as income. It's just a movement of money. I add the inflow, but we'll put a strike through it so I don't count it as income when I close out my budget. And now I add up the budget categories I used cash for, like my boys' treats, their haircuts, and our public transport cards. Once again, starting balance plus inflow minus all the expenses. And the figure should equal the running balance total. Then I just note down the closing balance for my cash at the bottom of my page. As mentioned, I'll add up all my numbers for my side hustle off camera. Before I tell you how you can download the PDF for free, if you found value in this video, make sure to hit the like button. Now, to get your hands on the PDF for free, go to my website, mariannecresp.com, go to the tab that says Freebies, and you will find this running total worksheet that you can download. Watch this video if you want to see me add up another expense tracker using my running total worksheet. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.